Welcome, welcome, welcome. So excited to see you. Happy Monday. Hope you had an incredible weekend. And I literally was about to finish my workday today and just put everything aside and have dinner with my husband when I just felt the need. I had to share this message. I just had to get on and talk to you about this really important feeling I have in my heart. Here it is, you guys. Here it is. Hello, hello, welcome. So good to see you, everybody. Come on in. We need more leaders in the alcohol free movement. We need more leaders in the alcohol free movement. Now, I don't know about how you grew up, but I will just tell you a little bit about me. I grew up in a time where I felt literally as I was a teenager that if I didn't drink, I wouldn't have been cool. That if I didn't drink, I wouldn't have been popular. That if I didn't drink, I would have failed to be in the in crowd. Not that I wasn't in crowd, I was totally an introvert in high school and had kind of more alternative friends and such. But I remember even one of the first few times I even had a beer, I remember it was like I was trying to prove that I was one of the boys and that I could hang and that I was cool enough to be there. And as this messaging gets continued and layered and layered and layered into our subconscious mind, we are literally a society that grows up to believe that we need to have alcohol in our lives, that it is the key to belonging, that it is the key to sophistication, that it is the key to glamour, the key to friendship, the key to being a great, amazing adult, right? We buy into that whole Sex in the City, Cosmos in town kind of thing. And it's led to so much pain in the world. It's led to so much pain where we've literally generations upon generations upon generations have been duped into drinking a poison that lowers our lifespan, a poison that literally gives us chronic diseases, a poison that does not allow us to go after our dreams. It literally cockblocks us from our dreams. I mean, just take an example. You drink the night before, the next day, do you wake up feeling like $1,000,000, ready to go slay the world and wanting to go write your book and launch your business and all this incredible stuff you're meant to do? No, right? Like alcohol completely stunts our growth, completely stunts our ability to have the drive and the passion and the energy and the belief and the courage and the conviction and the confidence, all these amazing things that an alcohol-free lifestyle gives us. Alcohol just stops all of that. And yet we live in a culture where it's still so normalized and glamorized to drink. You know, I mentioned earlier before about how much I was conditioned to drink as like a teenager and then a young adult in college because I thought it was rebellious and I thought it would make me cool and I thought it was all part about showing off, about how, how I could hang or whatever kind of status I thought you would get from it. And as I got older, as I got into my mid to late 20s, it kind of morphed. It morphed away from this like college girl who can have a beer, like play beer pong really well or whatever that was, into this woman who knew her wines, right? This woman who knew how to pair food and wine, the woman who knew that a Chablis goes with this type of meal, or knew her wine regions, or went to wine country on the weekends. You don't know how many embarrassing pictures I have of myself from my 20s, especially my late 20s, where I'm in wine country wearing one of those like floppy hats, wearing a cute little dress, thinking I look so chic, and then my like lips are all stained up from wine, and I have these puffy cheeks because I'm so swollen from all the bloating that happens when you're drinking. And it's like, it was so embarrassing, you guys. It was so embarrassing. And here I was promised that this alcohol lifestyle, this Cosmo, these wine tastings, all this stuff is the answer for being a woman, is the answer to how to even exist in this world. That drinking with my friends and going out to these kinds of things was literally how I proved to other people that I was a sophisticated person. And I was the type of person who drank a lot in college and grad school. And then I tapered back a little bit as I got older, but I still really overdrink on the weekends. So basically, I would be good all week, and then I would overdrink on the weekends, usually at your normal functions, social functions, all that kind of stuff. And so as I got older and I got more and more interested into health and mindfulness, it actually brought me so much more cognitive dissonance anytime I drank. Anytime I drink would be just so painful. Like, Carolina, how come you like got those wine stains on your teeth? You look like an idiot. Like, I would see the picture the next day and just be so ashamed. And I would feel like an idiot when I didn't sleep enough. Like, I never slept when I drank. Like, even if I slept 8 hours, I was never really sleeping 8 hours in the way that you're supposed to. I would go to bed and get in bed and be in bed for 8 hours, but I'd toss and turn. You sweat a little bit more when you're drinking because, like, alcohol actually is a poison that needs to be detoxed from your body, right? You wake up a lot in the middle of the night. Maybe you have to wake up to go to the bathroom. Maybe you just like wake up and can't fall asleep again because of all that adrenaline that alcohol releases, right? Like, I never actually really slept soundly after drinking. Nobody does. It's actually physically impossible. That's like literally the effect of alcohol on the human body. And so all of these like, cognitive dissonance of like knowing I'm not feeling healthy, knowing I'm not doing the best thing for myself, and yet still needing to compete with this culture of, oh, but I have that networking event this weekend, or oh, I have that wedding this weekend. I can't stop drinking. I have to drink at all those things. It was all such a lie. It was all such BS. And I think what we're noticing now in this incredible 2024 era that we live in is that the whole alcohol thing was a big lie. The whole alcohol, like you have to drink, you have to do this and this and this. It's all a construct. It's not the way things have to go. And the alcohol free movement is really showing people that you can reevaluate relationship with alcohol. You can stop drinking if you want to. You can take breaks from drinking if you want to. You don't have to drink for any reason. You have any reason under the sun to stop drinking, for example. And so many people are getting on this bandwagon, right? You guys have been seeing so many more drinks in the marketplace. There's so many more alcohol-free beverages now. There's so many more alcohol-free influencers. There's alcohol-free, programs. I have my book, Euphoric Ditch Alcohol and Gain a Happier, More Confident You. There it is. We have, all these other books, all these programs. We have so much kind of just this conversation that's happening. And I think we can feel it and hear it because we're kind of in this world, right? We're like interested in this kind of stuff. So we see it kind of like a lot, right? But I don't think it's good enough. Like, I think we need more leaders in this movement. Like, I think that if we really want the world to change, like, we need more of our voices in this conversation. And, like, I don't have kids yet myself. My husband and I are trying actually at this moment. I want my child to grow up in a world where drinking alcohol is actually like a fringe thing. And what I mean by that is like, I don't think we're ever going to get to prohibition, nor would I want it to be like outlawed like that. I don't think that was smart, but because people just want what you're outlawing even more. But what I've recognized when you look at like the history of how cigarette industry has like really changed and how everybody used to smoke in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, and nowadays I live in California myself. I don't know what it's like in your area of the world, but smoking is kind of rare. Like, yeah, people are vaping now, obviously, but to see someone smoking cigarettes, like in my own friend circle or from people I know, it's actually kind of more rare. So if I went to a party, like for the most part, most people wouldn't smoke and only a few people might go smoke. It would be like a minority instead of a majority, right? It used to be the majority, now it's the minority. So smoking is not mainstream anymore, it's actually a fringe activity. What if we actually lived in a world where drinking was a fringe activity, where people weren't pressured into drinking, where there always wasn't this expectation that no matter what social occasion you went to, you have to drink, that alcohol wasn't served at cancer events, even though alcohol totally creates cancer, like that we actually changed the dialogue and really, right now doctors and researchers know how bad alcohol is for the body, for our longevity, for all of our health systems. Like so many things go awry when we are introducing this poison, this toxin into our body, not just once, but multiple times over and over and over and over throughout the years. And obviously I did it too, right? So I'm not like shaming or blaming anyone. We literally were duped, right? With this culture to be drinking like that. But we know now, doctors and researchers know how horrible it is for us, how bad it is for us, that they're actually fighting to get labels on bottles so that the cancer risk before you buy, a bottle of wine. Like one bottle of wine is the equivalent for a woman of smoking 10 cigarettes, right? Who smokes 10 cigarettes, right? But how many people drink a bottle of wine? And even if you divvied that up and only had one glass of wine, that's 2.5 cigarettes per glass of wine. One glass of wine is the same risk equivalent for cancer that smoking 2.5 cigarettes. Who smokes anymore, right? Like who in the personal development health world really smokes any world? Barely anybody, yeah? But everyone really is still drinking. Even if you're alcohol free yourself or sober curious yourself, I bet you're the only one in your social circle. I bet it's still like you are the abnormal one and everyone else around you is still drinking. So even though we see so many of us, so many of the people in this alcohol-free movement, trying to change their relationship with alcohol, taking breaks, going alcohol-free for good, buying all the alcohol-free mocktails, like having fun and going to events, going to all this stuff, this is still now the fringe, not the majority. And I think we're going to see a huge shift in culture in the next few decades, and it literally rests on you. It literally rests on you. It is part, if you have changed your relationship with alcohol, we need you in this movement. We need you in this movement because I realized a long time ago that even though this gift of like helping someone change their relationship with alcohol, and even though I was talking about all the scary statistics and everything, in my heart, it's nothing to do with that. In my heart, why I care about this so much is that when you help someone break free from a relationship with alcohol, when someone takes an extended break from alcohol, they have such an intense transformation. Like they will change their levels of courage and confidence. They will have so much more energy. They will find a fire within them to rediscover who they are, their self discovery, the introspection, the drive to find their bigger dreams and actually go achieve them. Like it is life changing what happens when you help someone change their relationship with alcohol. They will go on and change other people's lives and so on with the beautiful gifts that are released when we do this kind of work. And so a long time ago, I realized, even though I love sharing this gift, I love sharing the alcohol free message, I love sharing the power of changing your relationship with alcohol, I promise you it's a really subconscious process. So if you're just trying to drink less or you're just trying to not drink, that is not it. Like you need to actually change the subconscious programming of your mind if you want to have sustainable change here. And I go over it in my book, and I also go much deeper in it in my program, Become Euphoric. If you're interested, just DM me after this. However, what I think is so true is that I have this message, I have this movement. A lot of other people do, right? We're all standing on the shoulders of giants. There's so many people who have come before me, like Annie Grace or Holly Whitaker. But what I think is really key to know is that I will never help 7 billion people on this planet change their relationship with alcohol. I will never help that many people, right? It is not even my purpose or my job to do that. And I know that in my bones. What I know is my job and my purpose is that we need more of us. We need more of us out there, leaders who are willing to influence and represent the alcohol-free lifestyle. You know what's uncanny to me? When you look at top 7, 8-figure entrepreneurs, when you look at some of the top thought leaders in the world, the top like kind of personal development gurus, so many of them do not drink alcohol. But guess how many of them are actually talking about it as their secret to success? Sometimes it comes out in an interview that they don't drink, or like it barely, you have to kind of do some like digging or sleuthing. But for the most part, we're following these leaders who live just incredible, big, beautiful, impactful lives. They help so many people. They have successful businesses. They're doing so much in the world. They don't drink, but they don't actually really talk about that very much. So the world, the masses don't really know about that. The masses don't even know that that's the secret, right? We need more of us out there actually sharing the secret, right? I'm not going to change 7 billion people's lives on this planet. It's probably not your destiny to change 7 billion lives. But when we come together and speak out and just look at how much has changed, if you've been around the Sober Curious or the alcohol free movement in the last like 6 or 7 or even 5 years or whenever you got involved or kind of got into this kind of stuff, it's changed so much. I remember in 2018 going to like a Whole Foods store and they had nothing on the shelves that was alcohol free. Now it's their best seller, right? Things are changing. But I think that it's still kind of over here in this kind of like more fringe part of our society, and there's still this massive bell curve. Basically, who we are like the forethought leaders of the front of the bell curve. We went first, right? You're the first one in your friend group, and then there's this huge, right, majority that still has to follow. And what I really think needs to happen is that the more people who get involved in the alcohol-free movement, the more people who actually become leaders in this movement and create safe spaces and conversations where you can actually talk to people about this and help them change their relationship with alcohol, that's when the exponential growth will happen. That's when we're going to literally skyrocket and change culture, where my children won't grow up with this expectation that they have to drink at every party they go to, where your children's children will grow up in a world where like drinking is even passé and thought of as like, why are we drinking that like toxic poison from the 20th century? Like that stuff kills you. That's so weird, right? Like you have to believe that you went alcohol free for a reason, that you've changed your relationship, that you became, interested in the Sober Curious movement, because I think you're meant to be a leader in it. And when you are interested in it, I know so many of you have, different like Instagram accounts where you're sharing sober inspiration and you're casing your milestones. I love to see that. I think it's so exciting and so inspiring. I think we can take it up a notch. Like, what would it actually look like to really have the fundamental tools to help anyone change their relationship with alcohol? We know it's a subconscious process. So even though it feels like a habit, it's not actually driven just by habit change. It is a little bit, but it's kind of more like an iceberg where the habit part, the behavior part is literally just the top. The big part of the iceberg is all of the subconscious work. Not only are we programmed into drinking alcohol because of our own experiences and all that programming that does over our experiences in high school, college, young adulthood, older adulthood, like raising our kids going off to college, all those experiences and all the friendships and the social circles that form around those kind of things. But we were programmed way before that. Scarily, we were actually programmed to drink way before that when we were seriously toddlers, 5-year-olds, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds. It was seeped into our culture and we picked it up all around us and accepted it as the norm. And so, if you really, really want to help someone be able to change their relationship with alcohol, there are some very deep subconscious rewiring practices that we need to learn. And I think more people need to learn them. And I think if more people learn them, we can actually make sustainable change. The thing is, not only do we have to reprogram the subconscious completely from what it absorbed just from the caretakers and our parents and the culture and all these kinds of things, we also need to find what that next level of purpose is for other people. I really truly believe that a key to a sustainable alcohol-free lifestyle is not only changing the subconscious and removing the alcohol, it's that next level of like, what's my deeper purpose? What's actually going to really give me that sense of meaning and fulfillment? Because what are we all looking for in the glass anyway? We're looking for just a little bit of happiness, right? Like that's why we all drink. So when you're looking for that in a glass and you remove alcohol, that next level after you've already done the initial subconscious work is to actually find a deep sense of purpose and meaning and fulfillment. And so I think is super special about being an alcohol-free leader and stepping into the plate of alcohol-free leadership is not just knowing how to help someone change their relationship with alcohol, it's also how to guide them to find a deeper source of purpose and meaning. And literally once they find that, that's so unique to them and they get high every day because they're alive in that purpose and that fulfillment and that meaning, alcohol doesn't ever become alluring ever again. Okay, so what's my solution for you? There's probably lots of solutions, right? And you can go search on the market and kind of see what your interests are and whatnot, but you're here, you're listening to me, so I want to tell you about something really special. In 2023, my heart was called, the universe literally called me, people asked for it, to launch a certification program to help take the things that I've done with clients behind the scenes for years and distill it into a process that we could teach people to do to anyone that they work with, right? And not only do you learn about how to change the subconscious mind, how to rewire it for success, specifically around alcohol, but then you are able to do so to find someone's deeper purpose and then have them be guided on a pathway towards that beautiful implementation of their fulfillment and their meaning. And so what does that mean in layman's terms? Basically what it means is not only does the certification certify you as an alcohol-free life coach, but also as a mindset coach, a success coach, an NLP practitioner, which is a very advanced modality that targets directly to the subconscious mind, and a hypnotherapist or hypnosis practitioner. And together, I put these 5 things together because they were so impactful in the coaching work that I did with clients, and I wanted to be able to teach this process to other people. So we are actually launching our fall round in October 18th is the last cutoff date. That's like our kickoff call. And I've been talking to some of you in interviews, which has been amazing. If we haven't talked yet, be sure to submit an interview. But also I wanted to share with you something that if you're kind of like interested in dipping your toe in this, but you're not yet sure if you're ready or if this is for you, I want to invite you to a completely free masterclass, no risk, no commitment. It's a completely free masterclass where I can actually show you how I made my very first 6 figures off of my passion. And if you're passionate like about the alcohol-free message, if you're passionate about personal development, if you're passionate about wellness or like a mix of those things, you will find this class so helpful to see how I actually will take you back, like way back when, to how I made my first 6 figures off my passion. Now, I'll be super honest with you. My very first year in business, I did not make 6 figures. I made $7,000. However, I actually did make 6 figures in my second year, and I did things a lot differently from my first year, and I learned a lot of lessons, and that's really what I wanted to distill this class around. How can you take something you love like the alcohol-free message, the alcohol-free movement, personal development, wellness, and distill it into something that would actually pay you a full-time career? That's what I care about. A lot of people like shout out flashy numbers for the numbers' sake. I don't really care about the numbers for the numbers' sake. What I want to share with you is that it is completely possible to make a full-time career out of this. And then if you're passionate about sharing this gift with other people, there definitely is a means to that. And there's been so many people who have launched their careers in this space and then gone on to that 6-figure salary. Probably not the first year, just because that's the way things works, because like we're such beginners and we're learning so many things that first year, but onwards and onwards as you keep growing, it becomes inevitable if you keep focusing on growing your business and learning the best in the trade. And so I've actually worked with a number of already like working coaches who are already like growing their businesses who came into the certification because they wanted to up-level their skills. They wanted to learn from me personally about how to get to the next level in their business. We can tweak like offers and really their sales strategy, but also really understanding that subconscious mind, I think, is so important for any kind of niche that you're into. And so this program is really made for someone who definitely is already a coach or working in business, but also for the beginner. We have actually 70 to 80% of our class is completely from scratch, like a beginner. I've never done coaching before. I don't even have a website. And so we teach you how to do all that too after you get the 5 certifications, because it also comes with a business mastermind. Okay, I'm like rambling now. I could go on and on and on about why I believe we need more leaders, but I think if this was interesting to you, the next step would be come to the free class. See if what I have to share is of any interest, how I built my passion business, how I was able to take the transformation that I had in my life and actually transmute that into a full-time career that allows me and my husband to travel the world and meet incredible people and love what we do. And I'm going to share behind the scenes of like how I did that, what offers I had, how I got started in marketing. I'll also share with you some of the 6 key steps you need to make 6 figures from your passion. I'll share with you some of the mistakes I made so that you don't have to repeat them. I'll share with you a little bit about what morphed between my first year, my second year, my third year in business. I'll be sharing how to like really get through the blocks of like being visible. Sometimes we want to go out there and share this message with the world, but we're so nervous. We're so, we have that imposter syndrome, and I've definitely had those things too. I'll be sharing about that as well. I'll share with you how to get more visible and get more online traction. I'll be sharing with you some of the biggest opportunities in the coaching industry as well, and how the money game has really changed when it comes to the kind of next level of work and the next level of helping people change their lives based on a transformation that you went through, and so much more. So please be sure to register for that class. We actually have a limited room. It's one of those Zoom room capacity kind of things. So we actually are almost full. So if you haven't signed up yet, do be sure to sign up. The link is becomeeuphoric.com/passion. becomeeuphoric.com/passion. You can find it in my link in bio and all the places and stuff. Come to the class and, really see if you believe that you were tapped on the shoulder to change your relationship with alcohol because you have a really big purpose. And we need more alcohol-free leaders because we are literally talking about changing the culture and the standards for drinking culture for decades on end. We will change the culture for our kids and our kids' kids. And literally in 100 years from now, they're going to be looking back, being like, why did anyone ever drink this chemical? That's so weird. Why did anyone drink it? That's so odd, right? Like that is going to be our legacy, and so many people will be free. So many people will have so much more energy and lightness and health and vitality and passion and energy that will never get robbed by a beverage that is literally meant to rob our life force. We are going to change the planet. I hope you join me. I hope you're super excited about this. And if you are just getting into this and you're like, Carolina, I haven't really changed my relationship with alcohol yet, do get my book. I do think that's a really good resource to completely start like changing your mindset and rewiring your subconscious. And I'd love to invite you into Become Euphoric. That's also my signature program to completely change that subconscious mind, what it believes around alcohol, so that you can lose your desire for it. Like literally just lose your desire. It's not even something you want. But if you've already done those steps and you're already like in this alcohol-free or an extended break period, I do invite you to come to this masterclass. Actually, I invite everyone to come to the masterclass, obviously, and consider what it would mean like to join our fall certification, to come with me to Palm Springs and meet my family and my dog and get the training that literally will take your career to the next level and really say, I want to be a leader in this movement, even when you're like you're just starting from scratch. Because at one point I was starting from scratch and all I saw were these top dogs around me, Annie Grace and Holly Whitaker and all these people, and I was like, who am I to even put my voice in here? And yeah, I'm so glad I did that so many years ago, because now I'm the leader with the book, right? And I know you have a book inside of you too. 82% of Americans want to write a book and only 1% ever do. That statistic literally just gets to me. I cannot, right? Like, you need to share your gift with the world. You had a transformation for a reason. We are going to change the consciousness, the drinking culture. It is literally going to be in 10, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, they're going to be wondering what we were doing in the 2020s and then the 1990s and stuff like that. Like, things are going to change the same way that it did with cigarettes. We need more leaders in this movement. There's a lot of people out there who already don't drink, but they don't really talk about it. And so imagine if you were part of this movement and you contributed and literally up-leveled the whole consciousness of the planet. We need you. Otherwise, you wouldn't have had this transformation, right? And if you want to combine your different passions with it, I promise you there's a way to put in the yoga and put in the mindfulness and put in the wellness and the gut healing and all the different things. Like, we're all so unique. It's not just like we have to share, be alcohol free all the time to people, but I think there's a way to really be a leader by inspiring and influencing and guiding and transforming people. And I want to share you those tools because I really believe in this work. So I hope that was super helpful. I'm hoping you're super excited about your role and part to play in this beautiful movement. We need you. We seriously need you. This is like an army message. Like, come join the army because we need you, except for there's no warfare. You just get to lead with your transformation and inspire people and change culture and literally change like the legacy of what's going to be happening for our children's children's children in so many years. It's insane. Like, they're going to write about this one day. There's going to be studies that are going to talk about how, like, wow, humans used to drink a lot, and then all of a sudden in around the 2020s, things started changing with these seeds that were like spawned, and then drink sales went down, and then mocktail companies grew, and then people just really kind of stopped drinking in that mainstream way, and we're gonna be just like, wow, we did this. Not that drinking has anything to do with morality or wrong or good or bad or anything like that, but we know it's robbing our health, we know it's robbing our dreams, we know we feel so much better without it. And imagine a world that never even pressured us or duped us into drinking in the first place. Like, that's cool. That's pretty cool. That's kind of the world I want to build for my children. So I hope you're on board too. I will see you at the masterclass. It is on September 5th, or sorry, 25th. That is on Wednesday. So today's Monday at the time of recording. So be sure to get your invite. Again, it's a Zoom room that has one of those like capacities. We're almost at capacity. So make sure you get your invite. BecomeEuphoric.com/passion. Have a great rest of your night.